Hello everybody, Faisal Talpur here once again. Today I'm going to explain to you how you can check the viability of an idea. So, if you're looking to get into business, or if you already are at the early stages of business whereby you may have an idea or a product or a service proposition that you're looking to take into the world, then there are ways and methods where you can actually check the validity of what you're trying to offer the world. This process can reveal to you whether it's going to be that big break that you're looking for, and if it is going to be a money-making proposition, a money-making idea, or if it is going to end up being a big disaster. So how do we do it? It's very simple. One of the ways you can do it is you identify whether there is an existing market that exists out there, number one. And if there is a market, then that is a good sign, not a bad sign, which means you don't have to necessarily go through the whole process of education and making people aware of what your idea is, or your product is, or your service is. You can actually service the existing market. Typically, what happens if somebody comes up with an idea, they try and propose that it's the most unique idea in the world. I quite disagree with that. So, you do not have 100% uniqueness in anything that you do, right? Usually what is happening is that you are building upon something that already exists. So you're trying to make it faster, easier, better. You're probably trying to add more value to something. You may give it a different approach, a different angle, but 99% of the time it is something that already exists in the market, and it's all about how you are going to be positioning that in the market, how you're going to be wrapping it up, how are you going to be offering it to the market. And then it comes into the value points as to what it is, the price points as to what you are going to be charging for that particular thing. So coming back to the point again, how do you check the validity of the idea and find out whether it's actually going to be a hit? So number one, you go and check whether the market for that particular thing that you're trying to offer in the market now, or 6 months down the line, or a year down the line, exists. So if the market exists, that's a good point. The second thing that you have got to, so the way to check that if the market exists is to, you can literally start asking people questions, whether that is something that they would be interested in, or if they have bought something like that before, right? Although you are going to put a unique twist onto whatever you're going to be offering, but something similar. So, a typical competitor who has been doing something similar to what you're trying to offer. So that is a good question to ask them. Or you can do some very basic internet research as to if people are, buying stuff, what you're about to offer, something similar that they're buying that you're about to offer. Number one. Number two, the way to find that out is the second way to validate and find out if it is a hit, is going to be a hit, is that if your competitors are spending enough money to grab those potential buyers that you will need in the future for your idea. So if your competitors are already in the market, they are marketing themselves, and they're trying to they're promoting themselves, and they're trying to pitch the particular people who may become your potential clients tomorrow or day after tomorrow, then again that is the second way of finding out whether your idea is good, your product is good, your service is good, right? The third way of finding that out, or checking the validity of your idea, whether it's going to be a hit, is you create a prototype. And what I mean by that, even for a service, you can create a prototype. For a product, you can create a prototype. Prototype is something which doesn't cost you a lot of money, and it's a very basic understanding of what you are going to offer in the market tomorrow, right? So it's a very basic framework of what, and you can develop that particular product. If it is a product, you can develop that product, and you can test run or pilot run that product or a service or idea, amongst your crowd, amongst your potential audience, right? Who are going to be looking to become your clients in the future. So these are the three main aspects. First, finding out from the potential people whether they have bought something in the past and they're looking to spend money on something that you're trying to create, which means there is an existing market. Second, you have to find out if your competitors are spending decent amount of money in terms of marketing themselves and trying to grab attention of the people who will be your future audience. Third is prototyping, right? And that is bringing to the world a very basic concept of what you're trying to do, and then trying to get people to give you an understanding whether this is something that they are going to be willing to pay money for. If these three things stack, then that confirms that your idea is something that you can actually bring to life, or your product is something that you can start offering. The other thing that this also does is that it helps you tweak and change and adapt your offering according to what is exactly needed. Sometimes as businessmen or businesswomen, what we end up doing is that we tend to think that the market needs this, and this is our own perception of what is needed in the market, right? So we may get it completely wrong. The best way to do it is to go out there, and find out what the market actually wants, right? And then, tweak and change whatever you're trying to offer them, and then offer it to them that way. From that point of view, it becomes a perfect product to market match. And that is the best marriage you can have in business, which means nothing gets better than that. I hope that has made some sense today. For now, thank you very much. Faisal Talpur once again. Adios.